A much more veteran Illinois State team led by Chase Walker, who wins the opening tip. Has mixed and matched all year. Stephen Pearl toying with different combinations. Really likes the one he has right now. And there is and veteran starting lineup finish third in the Missouri Valley. Best finish of the Ryan Peden era. Now in his fourth year as the head coach. Hall knocks down. Who lost 9 of their final 12 games. And were listed as first 4 out according to Joe Lenardi. For ISU. Inside Walker. Back out Claybo. Knocks down a triple. One of 9 underclassmen for Stephen Pearl. Kinziger. One of the great scorers at ISU over the last 2 years. A very pro-Illinois State crowd. As Fran mentioned, just a 2-hour drive. Freeman has his second bucket.
You keep your man on your back and you hold him hostage.
Open threes. Auburn in close losses and big wins. Pettiford 3. The starting point guard running the offense for the Tigers. Jovic scoops up the loose ball. Pettiford pitch. KO 3. Got it. Had such a big role on that team coming off the bench for Auburn. Kinziger. His second 3.
Being in this tournament, but they've really rallied and they've got great leadership from Keyshawn Hall.
Step back 3. Ty Pence banks it in at the horn.
If I'm not mistaken.
Longest active postseason winning streak in the country for Illinois State. Overton, second trip. 6-man tight at Texas Tech last year in the midst of their Elite 8 run. Count it at 2-point attempt for Illinois State in this game. They've hit 4 threes.
Got a great coaching future. Roman dancing.
Inside of the big man lead. Push shot right hand. Hall hounded by Ty Pence. Had that early contested 3. Spins through the defense, lays it in with a scoop.
Next year in the NBA somewhere. Come off the bench for somebody and drop 14 in the quarter. Wow.
Sir Charles in attendance tonight.
Yep.
Williams-Adams 3, got it.
Oh, this is a good.
Taking the bigger lead to the floor, so it stays with ISU. Walker back into the game. Backing down Williams-Adams, heavy with the 2.
Team. And Matt, one thing that people don't talk about with Stephen Pearl's club,
from last year's Final 14, and Franny's a sophomore.
So early. The last month of the season, look at his hands.
He's been a different player, hasn't he been? Wins it back for Auburn. Here he is. This time he'll lay it in. 6-0 run. Tried to get it into Walker. Stolen by Williams-Adams. Here's Mishalik. Gives it up. Hall. It's an 8-0 run.
Defender that you saw right there while he's in the game.
Began his career as a walk-on for Bruce Pearl, the father. Pettiford, Freeman, no. Had a couple of.
Chase Walker hasn't been able to get going yet.
Walker.
Nice cut.
Backdoor feed.
When they won it last.
They have been to the Final Four 18 straight years if you brought. Jovic will take it off the bounce. Against Walker. Slips it in past the 6'9".
Away from the team.
Picked up by Kevin Overton. Pettiford so fast. Lob to Hall. Hammer time.
That's the kind of point with that athleticism.
Coleman kicks to Kinziger. Trying to get past Mishalik. Took a bump, no. Returner from last year's Final Four. 3-point shooting has really bothered him this year. He's been frustrated by it.
Pence loves to post up and wants to turn around here. He loves to turn around.
That's a silky. Pettiford long, run out for Coleman, who can move. Coleman,
pretty.
9 games. Coleman off the bounce. Extra pass, Skunberg 3. Got it.
Little zone now by Illinois State.
Pettiford splits it. Push shot, good.
Oh boy.
Here, you kind of feel like we're watching Hoosier out there because I can't find. I'm looking for Jimmy Chitwood.
I tell you what, man, this Illinois State team, I think we're a little bit more offensive. We're losing the ball time with the late great Gene Hackman on that.
I think this might be a bad time, Fran and Matt, for me to admit that I
Two stars.
I used to watch him coach when I was a little kid. He was amazing.
Did he just age you, Fran?
He did.
I think
He did, yeah.
By the way, Taylor Tannenbaum has an assignment between the semifinals and the championship.
I think so.
Hoosiers in the hotel.
To the game. I just want people to know, Charles Barkley is one of the best people.
The weekend of basketball in Indianapolis. Here's Freeman, push shot with 5. Off the mark, Hall battling, banks it in.
I'm telling you, man, after Tucson, I mean, that's a blue blood program. North Carolina's great. But I love this big kid. Look at this kid. Look at this kid. On him later. And he's been on that Chuck Barkley diet.
Very proud of the
Chase Walker in his 3 years at Illinois State. When he got to campus, he was 325 pounds, and that's when his transformation began. He teamed up with his strength coach, Ryan.
which they've taken advantage of.
Yeah, 18 points, man. Well, good pass.
Hall has been dominant. Here comes Williams Adams up to Overton, tries a transition 3. Oh yeah! In Auburn this year.
Well, I think that's why he transferred. He was, like you said, 6th man at Texas Tech. He's in there.
10 ISU turnovers. Magwood behind the back, step back is.
I love Danny Hurley. As long as Danny's watching, I don't want to be mad. I might pick you on.
Freeman has been an unsung hero in the first half for Auburn. Here he is with 5 to shoot. Kicks it out to Charlotte, and it blocked. 2 seconds, flaps it up and in. Circus shot by the freshman to stop a 7-0 Auburn run and close the. Auburn shot 65% of the first half, 7 for 11 from downtown. Pettiford had a 3, floater won't go. They were efficient too from the floor when they didn't turn it over. Shot 57%, 6 of 12 from beyond the arc. Walsh came home with hardware. Out of the Illinois State timeout, it's Walker with 5. Pitches to Skunberg. Tough 3 with a handle, has been dominant tonight. Game high 15.
Got a chance to go one-on-one right here.
Steps back for.
I think Keyshawn was a catalyst for running the play in NIT.
You set back. Coleman off the bounce. Landon Moore into the game for the first time. Played a couple of seasons at Butler. Gives it back to Coleman. Gonna need more of those 3. The great equalizer, Sir Charles Barkley told us in the first half. But Hall
On the plains.
And everywhere he's gone, he's been a scorer. Oh, what a runner with the Spider-Man arms. Pettiford fakes and hits from downtown.
That was the impetus for the great movie.
A lot of the kids in this NIT semifinal have never watched the movie.
It's crazy.
Eric Conkle, the
Catholic once upon a time. Juice Panarca. Now,
when you invented the game.
well, a lot of people think I act like I invented the game, but I didn't.
Coleman reject. Kevin Overton at the line, 2 shots.
West Missouri State, then Drake. After his freshman year, he transferred to Tech.
Walker drawing a double. Skunberg, step back, over Pettiford, short.
As a former NIT coach, the first game in NIT was brutal. Because your team, you got to give credit to the upperclassmen because, as Chuck Barkley said, it's basketball. Keep playing. And they have.
better with each game.
Sure.
This might be their best performance so far on both sides of the ball. As Walker gets two.
Good pass.
Mashalik left open. Rarely misses that shot. Scunberg tips it to him. Overton logo. Yes, sir! 11:25 to go. 67-43 Auburn. Contested three.
Stayed with Stephen Pearl. Stephen's gone to the NBA. Great coach. Game doesn't get a little closer.
Well, and coach, you can speak to this maybe better than anybody. How important it was.
Easy, it's not.
Pettiford pitches to the freshman. Williams Adams pays him off with Auburn's 11. Kinziger.
Nice. Good job. Yep.
Magwood getting to his spot. So good at the bit. Had a season-high 14 points in the NIT opening round victory against South Alabama. Here's Wolf, and he draws a foul.
Yes, my favorite line of the whole transfer portal process, and it goes like this. I really want
Illinois State brought back 65% of their returning from here, trying to dribble out of it.
Good pass.
Coleman. Back out, Pence, three. Good.
Coach Beaton called him a separator for the Redbirds in terms of his speed and athleticism.
Yes.
And there's been times where this season coach has really thrown him into the fire. He mentioned
For paying guys, you know, who is like can't play at that level. Nice play. Those guys stick out right away.
There's Hall left it short. It's Pence with the.
But you know,
fantastic.
well, you know this. The volunteers in Indianapolis are fabulous.
Yes.
And
So many of them required to put on.
we mentioned this yesterday when we watched practice. It was a very lively that Texas A&M game where the basket didn't count.
Yep.
Split.
And subsequently, this is their first appearance in an NIT semifinal in program history. Pettiford lob and Young.
But he has really played a great floor game.
5 assists for the Auburn facilitator, dancing, elevating. Great defense by Jovic. Scunberg got his own miss, pumps, banks it in.
Yeah, good shot fake there by
North Dakota.
I did. Showing you some of that tonight, Matt.
Is that part of why you?
And you know, the NBA now has 18 guys on the team with two-way contracts. Somebody's going to give him a really good shot. This kid,
Back the 10th most returning production from last year. We asked him, how'd you do it at Illinois State? He said, guys just bought into the family atmosphere.
well, you know, because you live 2 hours from there. Bloomington Normal is a great basketball city.
Yes.
You know?
Great arena on campus.
Yes. Even the NCAA tournament when I was at Ohio U.
Jovic spinning against Walker. Boy, is he? Yes, they have.
Haven't they? Look at that pass.
17 assists on 31 made back. Scunberg finds Walker. Fakes. Counted in the foul for the big fella. Show he puts on.
No question
Looking
about it.
forward to the late night sports center with SVP. NIT semifinal. A lot to look forward to on the horizon for the Redbirds. Jovic does sneak it in his 4th season at Tulsa against Stephen Pearl in his 1st season at Auburn in a championship game.
But Auburn obviously coming out of the SEC would be the favorite in that game. But
Big dance, by many accounts, a snub, but they have risen past the initial disappointment.
easy to get a team ready for postseason when it's not March Madness. And go to Shake and Steak, Steak and Shake.
one of those.
One of those.
I have seen clips.
I think you should take your iPad there and watch Hoosiers in the bar called Plum Flash Shop.
That sounds like a good idea.
And that'll do it. It's all
Impressive. The Tigers set about making